think of a timeline, like a horizontal beam of light in front of you. And think of this timeline as being suspended in infinite space. It goes infinitely one way, infinitely another way. Think of a light orb and a dark orb that are nodes on this timeline, and see this pattern repeating. Light orb, dark orb, light orb, dark orb, light orb, dark orb. They look at the beginning and they look at the ending at once, and they can also look at all beginnings and all endings that are connected to that experience of the timeline, and they can modify the quality of beginningness and endingness that they're observing. For example, they could observe an entire aeon, and that lighter node will be perhaps at the beginning, darker node perhaps at the end, and it would be a very large span on that timeline. But they could also observe beginnings and endings as humans see it, the rising and setting of the sun. And there may be a bunch of light orbs, dark orbs, light orbs, dark orbs, light orbs, dark orbs along that timeline representing that solar cycle you see. They could also look at that with the moon. So they see the whole timeline, and that's what allows for them to perceive beginnings and endings. And they can see how the beginnings and endings on one part of the timeline may actually be resonant with the beginnings and endings of another part, and they can study those entanglements. I will describe it in a playful way. Think of beginning a project, and the symbol that I have started is I'm putting on a jacket. It's my special jacket. Project's over. All right, time for a change of roles. I'm going to take off that jacket now. It is smooth, casual. If you were to observe it, it would look like a beam of light launching into a star. To them, it is a change of perspective. So, I will explain now more technically how this happens. Reviewing the imagery of the void space with the infinite timeline. What is the space in which this is being observed? There's a higher space. So once enough experience is gleaned from that macro fifth dimensional view, that space begins to reveal a portal where a higher expression of what you would call time begins to manifest. Just as there is the ability to observe time simultaneously and non-linearly as you explore timelines from that bird's eye view, you can also observe timelines themselves in a simultaneous, non-linear way, as every being in that timeline. They can become the timeline of their choice and the timelines of their choice without becoming incarnationally entangled. So think of it like this, fifth dimensional view. Oh, I see many timelines, and I am seeing them from a multidimensional vantage point in some kind of hyperspace. That next level, sixth density, is realizing that too is a dream. Even that's a limit. Waking up, and now there is the ability to become the space, all the beings within those timelines that have been observed. And through that unified mind, the next level of experience is seen. These next levels can be portrayed in many ways. Your esoteric artists portrayed these levels in very humanistic ways, which is useful. It helps you all identify with them. The levels beyond that are almost pure geometry. There are expressions that are familiar to all of you. Those expressions are experienced on that level when a human consciousness ascends in such a way. And this is how an individual manifests their experience of the heavens. You see, they project the humanness upon the glories of the multidimensional scaffolding. The scaffolding responds because the scaffolding is made of them and they of it.